Hello. Okay. Video number, I've lost track, number 5 perhaps? Okay, so this one I'm going to, like I said in the last video, show you how to draw a face. It's just a really simple version, and it is breaking it down to shapes as much as possible. Just really simplifying it so you don't freak out about drawing an actual nose or an eye. What you will need is a pencil. I like to do a 2B just because it's not too hard and not too soft. Make sure that you've got a nice lead to it, so a nice pointy lead. An eraser if you really need, but I tend to do lots of lines and then get rid of the lines that I don't want. And you will obviously need paper. So I've got an A4 sheet here. Now, as you can see, this way is the landscape way, going across horizontally, but we are going to go vertically, so going up. So in a manner called portrait, usually. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with drawing the head. Now, some people like to think that a head, especially maybe the younger ones, is a perfect circle, but if you actually trace your finger around your face, it's actually a little bit longer than a circle, so we need to maybe do a shape which is like an egg. So what I tend to do is I tend to basically sort of start off with a upside down happy face or a sad face, semicircle, and this part you keep your big brain in, and then it goes down to a tip. Now see how I'm drawing really lightly, and it doesn't matter if I've got a few lines. I find that if you keep on drawing and then erasing and drawing and erasing, that you'll just keep on drawing the same lines. I've got a few lines down here, but that doesn't matter because I can erase the ones that I don't want. Now, as you can see, it's sort of more like an egg shape. You've got a bigger version around the top here that holds all your big brain in, and then you've got the smaller one down here where you've got your pointy chin. Now, if you want, you can just erase the lines that you don't want now. Otherwise, hold your pencil like a feather and don't embed the paper too much. Nice light lines. Okay. And then what you tend to do is I tend to do is actually do a line just very lightly, going halfway. Oh, mine's a bit off. Halfway down the face. So in that way we know that on one side we're going to have one eye and another side we're going to have the other eye, and we're going to have the nose divided by the half line as well. Then what we tend to do is we tend to draw maybe a line going across for where the eyes are going to be, maybe where the bottom of the nose is, and then the mouth. And as you can see, so I sort of divided it into 3. They're not purely equal. The nose is a little bit longer. Eyes are not halfway, but they're a little bit further up from halfway, getting closer to the top of your head. Maybe I'll draw the lines a little bit darker so that way you can see them. And that way you can already see that a face is sort of starting to happen. You've got the bottom of the nose there, a bit of a smiley face, and then enough room to have the chin there as well. All right, so now what I do is I tend to actually, from the halfway point, go across and just draw a line going down like so, and same equal distance on the other side. And that is the bridge of your nose. So hold your fingers on the edge of your nose and you can feel that there's 2 lines there. Then what I tend to do is I do just where the line is, or just underneath, depending on how long you want the nose. I tend to draw a little happy face there. And that is your tip of the nose. You can have a feel of it. And then just 2 bubbles going off to the side like that, and that is the side of your nose coming out a little bit. And then you have a nose. Now, of course, everyone's got different shaped noses, and this is just a simple way of doing it. And from there, I'm going to also go across and maybe just mark 2 lines as to where my eyes are going to be, or where just so I can see that I've got pretty much, oh, one's bigger than the other one. Now it looks a bit better, but I might change it over time because you want to sort of get an idea of the eyes being the same size and sitting well with your face. And with the eyes, what I do is I say it's a lemon shape. Some people say a football shape. Some people say almond or a leaf. So basically you're doing a sad face and then a happy face, connecting it. One eye, sad face, happy face, connecting it. Two eye. There you got your eyes happening. Now you want to make sure that you've got a good distance between your nose and your eyes. If you feel that they're a little bit too far out, you can just change it. I might change mine. But again, everyone has different shaped eyes. All right, it's coming together. Now something that's important with the eyes is that we don't forget something that protects our eyes, and that's the eyelids. So if you actually start drawing your eyeball inside with your iris and everything like that, you will notice that the face looks a little bit surprised. So this is where I get my eyelid going across the top. And that way it cuts off a little bit of the eye. If you look at your mother or father or brother or sister or anyone around you, you will notice that you never see the whole thing, otherwise you look a little bit surprised. Then you can add the eyelashes, the other eye around here. And then again, I'm just going to take my eraser and rub out some lines if I want. All right, there we have got our eyes. Got our nose. I might even actually start getting rid of these nice light lines here. In the end, you can also, if you want, just do a line which indicates that there's a bit of a shadow where your ridge of the nose is. And you can also make this part a little bit darker, because just to say that you've got your nostrils underneath. Right, mouth. Hang on, just fixing up my eye. Mouth you have got, okay, so you've got a little bit of a section underneath your nose, which you can feel, and you've actually got a little sort of section there where it dips. And what I tend to do is I go, all right, so I'm going to have my little happy face, which is that little dip in your mouth. And again, everyone's got different dips. And then from there, I'm going to actually do little hills going down. Put a line across just to say that's my inside line, and then another big long happy face underneath. Happy smiley face. Smiley line, I should say. Now you've got the lips. Now everyone's got different size lips. Some people have got thicker bottom lips, some people have got thinner top lips, but this is just a quick way to say this is the way I do my lips. Now the line in the middle, you can actually have it so it dips a little bit and goes in, and you can put little dips at the end where you, depending on whether you're smiling or not, and you can have them going up further to say that you're smiling. All right, we've got the face turning out. Right, I'm going to just get rid of some of my other lines. You've got the chin here. Now you can, if you want, just put a little bit of a mark there to say that that's where your chin is. Make it a bit of a soft mark there. And you can also, if you want, put some marks here to say that you're smiling. Be careful with the lips not to make them too small. They tend to, if you actually sort of draw a line straight down from the eye, they tend to end up finishing at where the eye starts. That might be a nice indication too. Okay, now what we're missing out on is, of course, eyebrows. Oh, messy eyebrow. Okay, and Ears, very important. We need to hear. Okay, now ears are a weird little thing on the side of your head, which you don't see that much unless you're actually facing it. But on the sides, you still see it. And if you actually feel your ear and you go from the top of the ear across to the eye, it actually sort of starts around there. And I just basically do a little hill or a sad face, and then it comes down. And it's actually quite large. And in the end, if you really hate your ears, you can just cover them with some hair. There's quite a few people that have phobias about ears. Okay, now we need put some dark bits in there to say that the ears are going inside. We need some hair. And actually make the head come out a little bit further. And I'm going to have maybe a bit of a fringe. And yes, I can cover. Or maybe put some earrings in there. And you might want to actually, with your face, you can actually put it in a little bit here to make the chin protrude out a little bit more. Okay, now this is another important thing, your neck. Now I've sort of almost done that with the hairline here. Your neck is not just a little pogo stick. You actually need a nice thick neck, and if you feel your neck travels to the back of your ear, so you want a nice stable neck to hold your big head with your big brain. Okay, there's your basic. Can maybe just make this more into a shadow. Your basic idea for how to draw a face. And obviously you can do some shadows, you can color the eyes in, you can do all sorts of things. I hope that helped. I think that's it for this video, but I am going to do another video immediately, and I'm going to do one where it's on faces again, but this time it's just having a little bit of fun with it, so that way you don't freak out too much about doing the perfect face. Thanks very much. Bye bye.